Hey, it's me again, Joseph, coming back at you for another episode of Art and the Garden, a series where I can share two things I have an enormous passion for: my art and my container garden. Let's grow. Well, I'm excited to be back with another episode of Art in the Garden. Um, I had to take a bit of a break because our female had a litter of puppies, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But let's start off this episode with a watercolor rendering watercolor pencil rendering of that beautiful okra flower, which was growing extremely well in the garden. And, I found it to be just surprisingly beautiful. So I'm going to start off with working with some earth tones, some green, yellow. I have a little bit of red, some browns and things like that. So I'm working with some earth tones and blocking in color. I love working with watercolor pencils. You know that if you've seen some of my episodes before. They're extremely versatile. And I also love working from my own photographs. This was a photograph that I had taken in my garden. And so I'm going to kind of work on this a little bit and just kind of talk to you a little bit about this episode. Well, let me finish this first. I'm going to block in a little more color. As I block in the color with the pencil, I will go back later and blend the colored pencil, the watercolor pencil with water, which turns it into a watercolor painting. Which, again, that's why I feel like it is one of the most versatile mediums that I've been working with over the past couple of years. I'm blocking in a few colors here, and then eventually, as I'm working on this, I will kind of shift over and begin working with with the water, blending the color and stuff like that. All right. So a little bit about this episode. I'm going to talk a little bit about how, having a litter of puppies and a garden, a container garden, how that worked out for me, or didn't work out for me. We were surprised when our female was expecting, but not surprised. I mean, if your female dog isn't, or your male dog isn't spayed or neutered, then quite naturally something is going to happen. All right. So I'll share a little bit about how they completely ransacked my garden here. All right. So real quick, I'm gonna blend. Go in and blend the watercolor pencil with water and brush, and it's coming along pretty good. And again, I love working with this medium. Really, really, really versatile medium that I like working with. And as I complete this entire process of adding the color and then blending with water and brush, once I let it dry, I'll go back over it to add some detail with a Prismacolor, with the watercolor pencil, but also a Prismacolor colorless blending pencil, which really, really helps out with adding detail and not changing the color composition and things like that. So here we go. I'm kind of finishing this up. I'm going to let it dry, blend it a little bit, and you know what it'll look like? It kind of looks like this at the end. All right. Okay, so let's get into this episode. If you remember, I started my container garden back in May of 2020, this past summer, and everything really and truly started off really great. I was excited about some of the things that I planted, things that were growing. Really successful with the okra. I had sugar baby melon in the ground, cantaloupe in the ground. Again, the okra was fantastic. Quite a few other things were extremely successful. The green onion was a big hit, and still is a big hit. Again, that okra was just an absolutely beautiful crop to grow. The garden was beautiful. It was colorful. Calanchuis were growing well. I had pineapple tops. Again, cantaloupe was doing fantastic. And it was the first time I ever grew cantaloupe. The green onion and everything was going well. Enjoyed harvesting that, using it in salads and things like that, other things that I cook with. And then August 4th of 2022, our female maize had a litter of puppies, and oh my God, 10 puppies began to take over the entire backyard. And we had to, we had to raise them. We had to get them, raised, and we had to feed them every day. We had to get them out. We had to let them get out and grow, even before we could surrender any of them or give any of them away. So at about 6 weeks, we were able to surrender some to Bark, 6 of them to be exact. And they all were adopted within a week. And then we had friends and people that we knew that wanted puppies. So we were able to give those away, 3 of them, and we kept 1. But look at my garden. I just had to do whatever I could to maybe just keep them out of it from chewing everything up. And they did. They chewed up everything. And so now I'm just going to take some time today and just really try to get in here and rearrange things and kind of weed out everything, just rearrange everything. Pots that are containers that I have to start over with. They're just kind of getting that soil ready and things like that. But really, first off, let me just get in here and clean out all the weeds, clean out all of the debris, the chewed limbs and all of that kind of stuff. And and so that's where I'm at right now. But again, the garden had started off great, and the garden will get back to its original state. However, this is wintertime, and I think my goal now is to really and truly continue to grow the things that weren't damaged. Calanchuis, ornamental plants did well, but also I think I had some green onions that survived them. I had a few other things that survived well. The garlic survived well, and thank God it's wintertime, because garlic grows pretty good in the winter, so that's doing well. Plus, I was able to put down some red potatoes. I put some of those in containers, and they were doing pretty good. But I had to kind of move them around just to get them away from the puppies and stuff. So now, getting everything cleaned out, getting everything sort of in order here. I'm glad to say that getting everything here in order, cleaning it out. These barricades that I am putting back in place, I'm going to change out. But, for now, let me just kind of get a sense of order back in the garden, and then just kind of go from there. You know, so that's sort of where I'm at right now, and I'm feeling pretty good. Was extremely frustrated going through the process of getting the puppies up for, getting them raised and healthy, but they really did a number on my garden, and I was really, really frustrated about that. And I just kind of at one point just gave up hope and just said, forget it until they're gone. Then I will just not do anything and just kind of raise them, get them up and stuff, and get them out. And so now that that's the case, I can kind of now get this back in order. And, we're going to think it's going to be pretty good. So, this is sort of where I'm at right now. Some things that survived, the Cal and Chewies and things like that. But everything else, some of the containers I just completely just cleaned out. And I'll get fresh soil in, fresh fertilizer and things like that in, getting them ready for planting. I was able to, once a pineapple top survived, my garlic did pretty good, or has survived up to this point, as well as the green onions. And then also I have some red potatoes in some containers that are growing pretty good. I was expecting a little more in that one container, but this one's doing pretty good here. So that's kind of where I'm at. Hey, if you like what I'm doing, if you want to see me keep going, why don't you just jump over to my website, grab some of the merchandise that's available, prints and things like that, and I'll give you another update down the road. Here we are in Art in the Garden.